Business is a video game, and if you understand how to play, you could level up fast and generate millions of dollars in revenue. Just like one of my clients, Miguel Hirones, who 4x'd his business in 60 days and was able to net profit over $100,000 a month through my system. There's a strategy that you can follow that will help you follow the same exact path. I learned this all by working at Amazon and consulting over 2,000 businesses. And in this video, I'm giving it away to you for free. This is how you can treat business like a video game and ultimately win. In order to treat business like a video game, you have to understand the rules. There are only 4 relevant rules of business, and the rules are the rules of bottlenecks. There are 4 bottlenecks that prevent growth. That is it. If you can identify which bottleneck you are experiencing right now, solve for that bottleneck, and prevent it from stagnating your growth, you will grow. The 4 constraints or bottlenecks are lead generation, sales, capacity, and lifetime value. Let's dive in and learn how to play at each level. Now, like I said, the first constraint that everyone talks about is lead generation. Lead generation is the process of getting strangers to book calls for your service. Now, there are only 4 ways in which you can generate leads for your company: advertising, cold outreach, warm outreach, and content. That is it. Personally, my system relies on content, warm outreach, and cold outreach to generate over 100 appointments a month. Nowadays, due to the market being extremely saturated, cold outreach rarely works in a silo. If you cold DM or email a prospect, there's a strong likelihood if your copy was good enough for them to consider your service, they're gonna go check out your website or your content. And if you do not have content to capture their attention, they're lost. They're literally gone forever. The name of the game in 2024 and beyond is content. Follow these steps to build the appropriate content funnel that will help you increase your appointment set from cold outbound and warm outreach. Now, the first step is to build really effective top of funnel content. I define top of funnel content as really valuable piece of content, like everything on my YouTube. It's something that can be shareable, it's highly educational, and it solves the problem and pain point of your ideal audience that you want to sell your services to. When a stranger consumes this content, they slowly start to build trust, or they click the follow button, which is a good reminder. If you're liking this so far, click the follow button. Once someone clicks the follow button on your content, and this could be on any platform: LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, blog, email, you now have their attention to nurture that lead until they have a buying window available and open. And that leads us to number 2, which is middle of funnel content. Middle of funnel content are short form posts. These are short tweets, YouTube shorts, reels. These pieces of content nurture your audience to continue to follow you, to continue to engage, even if they're not actually liking or commenting on your content, and ultimately build deeper trust with you because they keep seeing you on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis where you're truly giving them value through your short form content. After weeks and months of following you, if they have a genuine need for your service, and then they see your content and you have some form of a call to action, which is bottom of funnel, they will book a call or they will answer your DM because now you've nurtured them until the point when they have the buying window open. Now, as you can see here on the screen, this is a good example of short form content. It has about 2,000 people that saw this content. It's hyper targeting people that are thinking about hiring, and it adds value quick enough where they're going to continue to follow me. This is how you use short form content in the middle of your content funnel. Bottom of funnel content is number 3. These are call to action posts that are driving people to book a call, or it's social proof. There's 2 types of call to actions that you can leverage in bottom of funnel content. The first are what I call hard sells. Hard sells encourage people to book a call, leveraging some form of scarcity. And if you look here on the screen, you could see one quick example of a hard sell that I used on Twitter. The second one is a soft sell. This leverages social proof to encourage people to book a call because they're seeing success stories. They're seeing other people similar to them using your services. They're seeing how good your service is compared to the marketplace, so they're more inclined to book a call with you. And here on the screen is a similar post to the hard sell, but in the frame of a soft sell. Now, once you have people following your content, the goal is to make hard and soft sells, or what I call bottom of funnel content, on a weekly basis, 2 to 6 times a week, and you need to feel it out per platform to see what's appropriate without totally watering down your following with all call to actions. Now, one thing I love to do on Twitter is use auto plugs, which are call to actions to drive people off a platform. On Twitter, I use them to drive people to my ebook, which you could see here and you could book below, so they could, in exchange for giving me their email, they get a really good piece of value. I drive them to consume more content. You could see here on the screen, I drive people on Twitter to my YouTube to watch this stuff because I know if they watch it, if they're in the buying window, they'll eventually book a call. And I also drive people to book a call with an auto plug. Now, at the end of every YouTube video, I do make an ask. If you need help, go book a call below. So it's things like this that really nurture and encourage people to book a call or keep staying in the nurturing process of my content funnel so I stay relevant when they have a business need. Now, the ultimate thing, if you're struggling to book calls, you need to figure out, do you need to join a new platform? Do you need to optimize your platform? And the simplest thing to do is find a consultant that knows that platform well, that's already booking a lot of calls. This is what I've done with every single platform. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I always hire consultants to tell me what to do, and it works every time. This will alleviate your content constraint around lead generation. Now, the second thing you can do once you're already creating content is to do warm outreach. At 8F, we scrape our followers off of Twitter, put them into an Airtable form, categorize them to understand which of them are actually in our ideal customer profile, meaning people we want to sell to, and then say, did we or did we not DM them yet? And if we did, what stage of the DM process are we at? You could see here on the screen a quick snippet of what this looks like in my Airtable, and it allows us to now DM people that already know me. They've been following my content, and you could see here on the screen, you could see that there's a section that says date added. I have my team adding people to this Airtable form on a daily basis. So we can wait a month of them watching my content and reading my content. So by the time I DM them, I'm not a stranger. And if they are in the buying window, I could follow up with them. And if they're not buying services right now that fall into my window, I could follow up with them an additional 3 times over the next 12 months. Basically, trying to see if they end up having a business need for my service. This one process of warm outreach books me about 20 calls per month on Twitter. And our goal in the DM is to keep following up with them in a funny or humorous way until they are in the buying window and I just happen to be right in front of them so they can book a call. Remember, content nurtures, hard sells book calls, and DMs book calls. Now, remember, this is a pretty long YouTube video, and if you're enjoying this, make sure you click the like and subscribe button to this video to keep getting things like this to your feed every week. Number 2 is sales. Most agencies are highly ineffective at selling. The best way to sell a service is not to actually sell, but to consult. At 8F, I'm currently training a sales professional on how to do this. What we do in our process is identify a specific pain point by asking questions about our prospect's business and their needs. And then we introduce consultative value to solve those problems by introducing our models and systems on how to solve them. When my sales professional is ready, he's going to follow this exact process. Number 1 is build rapport. Number 2 is ask questions. Number 3 is identify need of the buyer. Number 4 is to consult on the problem. Number 5, offer to solve the problem by sharing how our services solve their problem for them. By the last point in the call, we aren't pitching, but we're merely showing how our solution can solve their problem for them, and we've already earned their trust and demonstrated competency with our service. It's more of an invitation to collaborate than a pitch to sell. In addition to this process, we track the following metrics to always make sure we are not bottlenecking in the sales process. Number 1 is % of no-shows on call 1. You never want to be higher than 25 to 30% of no-shows on call 1. The way you avoid this is by introducing more setters so people can book times to chat with your team at a more convenient time for them. Number 2 is offers made. We have an admin that scrapes our pipeline daily to make sure that we're staying in front of the people we've made offers to get them back on a call to convert them. Number 3 is percentage of deals closed. If this number is below 30% of offers made, we're auditing our process to make sure we're fixing any issues. Number 4 is average cycle time. We track this to see if there's an issue with our offer driving a longer cycle time or lead time for that person from the time an offer is made to the time they accept that deal. By tracking all of these things, we're able to identify, is there an issue in our sales process? And if there is, let's remove it. Let's fix it by bringing in an expert expert to tell us what to do. It really is that simple. And remember, business is a video game. The answers to the test of this game is usually in the data of your business, which is why you have to track. Number 3 is capacity. Capacity is defined of the amount of clients you could onboard in a single month and fulfill in a single month. The biggest indicator of how you can do this is how many accounts can each role in your company fulfill right now. In a pod, and a pod's defined as a group of employees that are working on one account, we identify the pod capacity by the role that has the lowest amount of capacity to fulfill. As an example for this, if one pod has a strategist, a media buyer, a project manager, and a graphic designer, and the strategist has capacity for 12 clients, the media buyer has capacity for 15 clients, the project manager has capacity for 20 clients, and the graphic designer has capacity for 20 clients, the strategist is going to be our next bottleneck, meaning this pod could only take on 12 total clients because the strategist can't take on any more than that. So that's the role that we need to prepare to hire for next to prevent our business from stagnating and hitting a ceiling of achievement. In this example, once a strategist is hired, alleviating this pod's capacity, we're going to have to hire a media buyer quickly because that's going to be the next bottleneck and constraint. And here's how we can forecast this. Look at your current business, identifying what your current structure is, what the capacity is per role, and how many clients you have. Forecast what your business is going to look like in 5 clients from now, 10 clients from now, 15, 20, 30 clients from now. And just start to build out the simple model of what your business will need to look like every time you add 5 clients. When you do this, you can identify the next roles you're going to need to hire for and the next roles you need to start sourcing for right now. At 8F, we encourage our clients to always be sourcing talent. Because even if you don't have a need right now, but you know what your business is going to look like in the future, you could source people in advance, start to interview, qualify, and ask people, hey, we don't have a business need for you to come on full-time. Would you be open to come on part-time, taking on 1 or 2 accounts? What you can do in this model is train people, make sure you're a fit for them, they're a fit for you, and by the time you have a business need, they're already qualified and trained. You could also see if some people can take on 3, 4, or 5 accounts on the side of their full-time or part-time job, so you can make sure your net profits are not taking a big hit by the time you onboard them full-time. You can see here in the example besides me that this is how one of my clients forecasts the growth of his business through an org chart. And simply, it just shows what we need to do and what roles we need to hire for and plan for. Now, if you want, I did make an ebook on this strategy. You can grab that in the link below to learn how to do this strategy in depth so you never fall behind. It's called the 8-figure talent funnel, and I think you're really going to like it. One final note on talent before we move forward to the final thing. If your talent leaves you, you're going to be back in square one. So you don't want to have to continuously source talent, but you want to keep and maintain your talent. In order to do this, you just need to follow a 4-point prompt. Number 1, identify your talent's income goals on a short-term and long-term basis. Number 2, identify your talent's professional goals on a short-term and long-term basis. Number 3, identify your talent's personal goals on a short-term and long-term basis. And number 4, identify your talent's love language, how they want to be treated, how they want to be shown appreciation. If you know all these things for your talent and you project manage that, making sure that you're tracking and pacing, communicating that you're going to help your talent get these things, they'll never leave. So not only are you bringing on the talent you need to bring on, but you're also keeping your talent the way you want to keep them. Finally, lifetime value is number 4. Lifetime value is going to be probably the hardest long-term strategy to build and scale in your business. If this is your bottleneck, follow the following process. Number 1 is you have to identify your current lifetime value. Lifetime value is defined as the amount of money that a customer will pay you during the course of your business relationship with them. Lifetime value is calculated by average price divided by churn. In this example, if your average customer pays you $2,000 a month and you divide that by your average churn rate of 12%, that equals a lifetime value of $16,666. Now you can calculate churn as the amount of clients you lost divided by the amount of total clients. So if you have 100 clients and you lose 12, well, 12 divided by 100, 12%, 0.12. So in the prior example of a client that's paying us on average $2,000 and they're churning 12% a month, the client's going to stay around 8 months on average. Now, if you have multiple teams and multiple offers, you're going to want to calculate this per team and per offer to know which offer is going to be the next constraint in your business to fix that service. The second step in this process is to create a target lifetime value that's going to alleviate this bottleneck. Remember, your business is only going to grow as its largest constraint. Make this number large enough where you're not going to be constrained on your lifetime value. The way you can do this is by calculating the monthly recurring revenue capacity equation. Now, if you take the average amount of new clients per month and multiply that by average price, and then you divide that number by churn, you're going to get monthly recurring revenue capacity. So example, you're bringing on 12 new clients a month, and each client is paying you $2,000. You have $24,000, and you divide that by 12% churn. Your business is going to be capped at $200,000 per month in monthly recurring revenue. That's the level at which your business cannot exceed growth beyond. You can change this number by decreasing your churn, increasing the amount of clients you're bringing on, or changing your price. So let's just give 2 quick examples of how this can change. The first example, let's say you go from 12 new clients to 15 new clients and everything else stays the same in this equation. Your business will cap at $250,000 a month. Or let's say you still are bringing on 12 new clients, you're still charging them $2,000 a month, but you change your churn from 12% to 8%. Your business will now cap at $300,000 per month in revenue. You could see here by adjusting these items, your business revenue will change. The third step, now that you know how to adjust where you want to put your energy towards, is receiving feedback. When a client churns, you want to get feedback on why. You want to be doing an exit interview or asking them what was the biggest reason in which they said they left. Number 4, once you have a list of these, every time a client churns, you want to take their response, add it to your list, and start to organize the reasons that clients churn in order of priority. Your goal is start to create ideas on how to solve these problems to make your service better. Now, you could make a list and make your service better, but there's primarily 2 reasons why clients leave. The first reason is your company's ability to deliver results, and the second reason is psychology. If your company is delivering results and you're doing good work, then it's a complete psychological game. If you were able to deliver results but you're still churning clients, here are the specific things you need to consider to alleviate this as your constraint in your game of business. Number 1 is onboarding. During onboarding, do we do the following things? Number 1 is congratulate clients, which is called priming clients the second deal is closed, because they now associate their investment with success and reduce buyer's remorse. An example of this is when I close the deal, I literally congratulate them by clapping. Number 2, sending an onboarding video the second someone closes, explaining next steps so they can have a clear timeline and what to expect in your service, and you start to educate them on your service and why it works. Within this, you could send a clear visual roadmap on what a client can expect over the next 90 days. Now, here's a quick example from my YouTube agency on what their roadmap looks like when they close a client. And by the way, if you need to hire them, they're great. Reach out to me and I'll introduce you to them. The second thing is after onboarding, you want to consider these 4 things. Number 1, remind your client what the expectations are of your service and what the expectations are of operations. Clients will forget, and as long as you remind them, this will mitigate this as an issue, but do not overestimate this. Remind them on how long things take, how long results take, how long it takes for you to respond. All expectations matter. More is better. Number 2 is have your account managers tie their actions to the client's desired results. Now, if the client comes in for your service and says, I want to be able to get my business to $2 million a year in revenue, when you are having small wins, and let's say you're writing SEO and you had 2 keywords that ranked on the first page of Google, you say, hey, congratulations, this week we had 2 keywords rank on the first page of Google. We're moving towards hitting your goal of $2 million a year. These small things on a psychological level tie what you're doing to where your client wants to go. Number 3, have a complete monthly business review and quarterly business review. What you want to do is show your lessons learned, your wins, your return on investment, and your forecasted return on investment based on the lessons that you've got and the new path forward. This is so critical. You always need to show that the trajectory is positive. And number 4, I already said it, but you need to have your account manager celebrate weekly and monthly wins as they occur. When you do this, it continually shows a winning streak. Now, the major key here, every single reason a client leaves should create an initiative for you to improve your business on. The game of business is a never-ending one. It's literally a game of solving problem to solving problem. You're on an endless flywheel. So good luck and keep going forward. I know sharing all this, you might be thinking, Jordan, there are 4 constraints. I'm working on it. It's pretty hard. How do I do this all together? We have a dashboard where we put each constraint: leads, sales, capacity, and churn. But that can be confusing. So if you want to explore what that looks like with us on a call, go to the link below and book a call. But at a bare minimum, the number 1 thing that you want to look at is your monthly recurring revenue formula. How many deals are you bringing on? What are you charging them? And what's your churn? that will show you where your business will cap at. So basically, you either need to focus on churn or on sales and marketing, and figure out within all those strategies what I shared on this video, what you need to do. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe to continually get value-add content to your feed. Thank you.